Hi, everybody. This is Joyce Briggs. I'm with the ROS programs at the Durham Housing Authority. And today we have Ms. Doloroes Blue of the Community Health Coalition. And what I have asked her to come on is to answer some of the questions that I've compiled from a lot of people that are concerned about diabetes. As you may know, November is Diabetes Awareness Month. I wanted everyone to meet Doloroes. Hi, Doloroes. How are you today?
Hello, good evening. Hello to everyone.
So why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself, and then we can get into the questions. How about that?
Sure. I'm Doloroes Blue. I am a registered nurse and a proud graduate from North Carolina Central University. I have been Eagle all the way. I have been a registered nurse for over 40 years and have retired and have now come back to do a little part-time work with the Community Health Coalition. So I'm so excited to do community health because I have done some church ministry, and that put me out there in the community, and I've loved it. And so I'm just so excited to be on the call to share some information about diabetes.
Great. We really appreciate your time today. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, is that all right with you?
That's fine.
Okay. So as you may know, I service about 60 seniors that are living within the Durham Housing Authority. And I compiled some questions from them that they really wanted to get some answers. So this is the first question. What are the early signs of diabetes?
That's a great question. And I'm going to start that. Before I start that, I'm going to just share my story about diabetes, if that's okay with you, Joyce.
That'd be fine.
I don't think I included that in my intro. I am a diabetic. And I have to share that I had been a pre-diabetic for years and just thought, okay, this is not going to happen to me. Well, when it did, of course, it was a shocker. I was out of town in a meeting, and I kept having to get up and go to the bathroom, and it was so embarrassing. Time I got back in, I was trying to sit toward the back of the room, and I had to go again. I also noticed that I was beginning to shake a little bit. I had some blurred vision, and I told my husband, I said, something is wrong. I said, I'm not eating a lot because we were just doing some fruit and maybe a pasta salad, something like that, that I thought would be fine. But when we got back home, I went to an urgent care, and they were able to do a finger stick for me, and it did not register on their machine. So they immediately suggested that I go see my primary care provider, and they called, and I went over there, and they saw me immediately and did a blood test, again, which was an A1C. And at that time, that number was in the double digits, which surprised me as a nurse, because normally, you know, they talk about get your A1C, which is a combination of your blood glucose over 3 months to make sure that you want to get it down over 7. Mine was double digits, and it wasn't a 10, it was much higher. So I was very, very shocked. So to answer your question, some of the symptoms would be blurred vision, increase in thirstiness. You may have urine frequency going to the bathroom. Those are some of the things you may want to just ask your doctor about, because it's not normal.
Okay. All right. So this one person asked me, how did I get diabetes?
That's a great question. It varies from person to person, because you can be a man, you can be a female with diabetes. And sometimes they look at your family history. And certainly if you have parents or grandparents or siblings who are diabetic, you may be predisposed to getting it. So they'll start back to tell you that you may be at risk, and then they'll start making sure, if you're going to your doctor annually, they'll start monitoring your blood sugar levels to make sure. If you are diagnosed as a gestational diabetic, which means, during pregnancy, your levels were extremely high, or if you had a baby of 9 pounds or higher, you may be a diabetic in the future. So again, it's so important that you follow up with your doctor on an annual basis.
Okay. The next question was, I have high blood pressure and diabetes. Are they connected?
Yes, they are. And that's a good question. That, again, they mentioned diabetes, but I have to say, not just the high blood pressure, but your whole body system is connected with diabetes once you have had that diagnosis. So definitely. And that is another reason why you want to make sure that you monitor yourself regularly.
Okay. What types of food am I not able to eat if I am a diabetic?
Well, we don't like to say you don't eat foods because, when you think in terms of diabetes, you're looking at how much carbs you're eating, and carbs can come in the form of both your starches and sugars. And that's in everything you eat, just about.
That's so true. So true.
So you don't want to eliminate everything. I guess the best way to answer that is, again, portion control of what you're eating. And if you're being followed with your care provider, they may bring up to you if you would like to speak to a nutritionist. And I know there are people out there who are excellent cooks and think they may not need a nutritionist, but that person can help you to look at the meals, how you're preparing them, what foods you like, and further break it down to meet your individual needs.
Great. Next question is, my doctor says that I am borderline. What exactly is that? Does that mean, borderline?
That exactly was what I was for a few years, borderline, which means basically I was not a pre-diabetic or right there at the cusp. And I know a lot of people are keeping up with different commercials on TV that talk about different medication to bring the blood sugar level below 7. Well, when you're talking about normal level for your A1C is usually 5.7, 5.5 and below. Borderline or pre-diabetes comes in right there at 5.7 to about 6.3, 6.4. And you can stay at that level for a while, but like me, just eating a lot of fruit or a lot of pasta, all of a sudden, that particular moment, your blood sugar could say, okay, enough is enough. Your hormones have done what it needs to do with producing insulin, and boom, you are crossing the path from being borderline into diabetes. So get it monitored and keep monitoring.
And of course, the next question was, can it be reversed?
Well, usually once you are a diabetic, that is your diagnosis. You don't have to stay at a high level, but you can certainly bring that level down, even if you're down to, like I said, a below 5.7, and your range is normal. Within your body, you do have that tendency to revert back up. So it's important that you maintain your goals, what you and your doctor have worked out once you have reached that lower level, so that you will not continue. Doesn't mean that, oh, I don't have sugar anymore. It means that you have done well to bring your levels down, but you could revert back at any time.
Okay. The next question is, Does drinking alcohol affect me as if I'm a diabetic?
Great question, Joyce. Especially now where we're approaching the holidays. That little holiday tardy that we might want to drink. Christmas is coming and people are doing eggnog with a little something to spice it up. Yes, alcohol has calories and they're empty calories. And again, if you're watching your carb intake and your caloric intake, would you rather drink it with a glass of alcohol or would you rather sit down and have a meal? It is a choice that you have. But certainly you need to discuss that with your nutritionist,
Right.
to see again what works for you. For me personally, I would rather have that meal than have that, tropical drink. Or if I'm having one of those drinks, what can I do with my meals to prepare? A lot of times people have carbs along with the tropical drink or with whatever the drink is, and that adds additional calories, which can affect your blood sugar as well.
Right. Okay. This person says, I drink a lot of water. Is that good?
Drinking water is good for you, as long as you're drinking it along with what your doctor has recommended. A lot of doctors are, suggesting that we get 8 ounces of water a day or 10% of your body weight of water. However, if you are drinking water because you have increased thirst, that is different. That is something that you might want to, again, talk to your doctor about, that you're staying thirsty a lot and you're beginning to increase your water intake.
Okay, that makes sense. This person says, I don't like water. What else can I drink?
Well, today is a good day to be in that, to ask that question. There's so many different flavored drinks that don't have any calories. You could squeeze lemon or squeeze orange into your water. You can have unsweetened tea, have your coffee black. There are different kinds of things. Some people prefer diet drinks. Again, I would caution you, you need to talk to your nutrition about that because some diet drinks aren't the same as others. So those are things that I would suggest. But there are, just having a little squeeze of lemon wedge in there or a little orange slice or lime slice, and even a little bit of mint works well.
Okay, that sounds good. My doctor told me to fast before my blood test. Does that really help?
Yes. If that is part of your plan and your doctor has suggested that you monitor your blood sugar levels and you need to do that in the first thing in the morning, you need to do that. If for some reason you forgot and you've eaten breakfast and then you thought, oh my goodness, I forgot. Usually it's recommended that you wait about 2 hours after that meal and then check your blood sugar.
Okay.
Write that down and indicate that you had breakfast, you waited 2 hours, and that is now the number. If your doctor is really concerned about monitoring your blood sugar, make sure you write it down and take that with you at your next appointment.
Okay. Speaking of blood sugar levels in the morning, one lady writes that my sister woke up and her sugar level was 400. Why is that?
Wow. Well, sounds like there may be a couple of things going on with her, not knowing all the details. Most time when people have something like a 400 blood sugar, they're on some type of medication. Either that person might not have taken the medication earlier, or they might have had an extra large meal late. They may be stressed about something. So they may have been sick. So there's a combination of different things that might have caused it. But again, it is worthwhile noting. And also, if you need to reach out to your doctor, call them. I would not self-medicate myself unless you have been instructed by your doctor to do so.
Great. What is the best thing to do when my blood sugar is high?
Same thing as that 400 blood sugar. We don't know what made it go up. So it's so important that you, again, start drinking water. You need to call your doctor and let them know these are the symptoms that I'm having, whatever those symptoms are for your blood sugar being high. They may start again passing their urine more frequently, especially at night, getting up early, getting up a lot at night, going to the bathroom. That thirst might have come back. They may have started dropping weight, those kinds of things. So, and there are other things, blurred visions, etc., that might be kicking in. So they need to contact your doctor.
Yes. Speaking of doctors, how often should I get my eyes examined if I'm a diabetic?
Usually care providers will again suggest that you have an annual eye exam. That's so important for us because, like I said, diabetes affects all of the body's the systems. So it is so important that you get that, especially if you're having blurred vision, if you're having floaters. Sometimes people have that as well. So based on what your eye care specialist will say to you, you may have to come back in 6 months. They may give you medication, and they will also communicate that with your provider based on your permission for them to do so.
And I know we didn't discuss that, but when you do go to your doctor, you need to tell them, I'm a diabetic and I want you to check my eyes. A lot of people just get their eyes examined, but they never open up to what's really going on with them. So they need to tell the doctors, all of them.
Absolutely.
And speaking of doctors, maybe a couple of years ago, I took a diabetes management course through Care Incorporated, and we talked about going to the doctor and kicking off your shoes, letting the doctor see your feet. And that's important, don't you agree?
Absolutely. Most care providers now will make that part of their assessment when they see you. But for some reason, if they get distracted or something and they don't, yes, take your shoes off so they can check your feet every time you go there. Now, I know as women, we like to keep our feet cute. We have our pedicures and nail polish. They will not remove your nail polish. They're checking for other things. They can check for circulation different ways. They're looking at sensation in the foot. They're looking for cracks or little sores or that kind of thing. So the sensation is that's when they do the little prick test on different places on your foot, just to make sure that you're feeling those pricks. So it is important that you maintain good circulation in your feet, because most of us probably know someone who may have had a body extremity removed because of lack of circulation, or, you know, so that's so important. Thank you for bringing that question up.
Not a problem. Then the next question is, my outside of the diet, what else can I do?
Well, if you're being well maintained or controlled with your diet, most care providers will suggest that you add some type of exercise. Now, it doesn't mean you have to join a gym. It doesn't mean you have to get out there and run a marathon, but you should start walking. You should start doing some type of exercise so that you can get some fresh air as well as be able to burn off some of those calories. So that's so important. Also, you need to be aware of the stress in life. And I know we're still involved in the pandemic, and that has touched a number of families. But it's so important that you maintain your stress to a point where it does not affect your blood sugar or your blood pressure.
That's true.
Get plenty of rest. Most providers will suggest that you try to get at least 8 hours of sleep per day or per night. So that's also so important. And make sure that you are taking your medicine. Don't skip. Even though you feel good today and you don't think you need to take that pill, you still need to take your medicine.
Right. And you need to take it at the same time all the time. I'm not a diabetic, so I don't know too much about what medicines are required to be taken, like if it's morning or afternoon or midday. So, but take it when you're supposed to take it. How about that?
Yes. And your doctor should tell you that, or if they change your medication, they should tell you. Also, your pharmacist, a great resource person to, again, each time you go for your refill, they'll ask you, do you have any questions? You need to, again, let them know, I've been taking this pill for my diabetes and I'm noticing that I'm having diarrhea. And he may suggest that you might want to do this and that. So talk to him, great resource, as well as calling your doctor and letting them know they may want to adjust your dosage. So those kinds of things are so important that you do keep some type of routine, because if you're used to taking your pills, at 8 o'clock and all of a sudden you decide, well, I can take it at 10, maybe I'll take it at 12, you may forget. So having a routine to take your medicine, your doctor may have told you to take it before you eat or directly after you eat or with foods. Those are some of the things to help you to remember to take your medication, as well as some of the medication works along with your digestion. So that's very important.
That's so true. I think I have asked all the questions that I have. Is there anything else that you'd like to add before we sign off?
Well, I do want to just say happy holidays to everyone if they're looking at this during the holidays. Again, make healthy choices in the holidays as well as out of the holidays. And I guess that's about all I have as well. If you have questions, I'm located at the Community Health Coalition here in Durham. And you can find the number and how to contact me at the end of this YouTube.
That's so true. I'm going to put her email address, phone numbers to the Community Health Coalition. If you have any questions that we did not answer, please, please, please email Ms. Doloroes Blue. She would be honored to know that you watched this video and that you have more questions. Please subscribe, join our community in making everybody healthy, and like the video and share it with all of your friends. And I wish you all a very, very happy holiday and a safe one. And don't forget to get vaccinated too, if you haven't, and get your booster shots if you haven't. I just want all of us to be here so we can see 2022. Dolores, that sounds so funny to say, 2022, doesn't it?
I agree, but it's here. It will be here in less than 3 months.
I know, can you believe it? Well, thank you so much for your time this afternoon, and I will talk to you real soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.